What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a little fun match we had in between rounds at Locals, which is going to be between myself on the right playing Gabumon, and then on the left we are going to be having Hina Dragon Linkz, which this matchup I can confidently say I've never played and personally haven't seen, so I didn't know how this was going to go. I did know that this deck does have a potential chance of having a problem if I do go up into Bond of Friendship and just swing 3 checks with the BT6 Gabumon, so going to go ahead and swing here, use the EX1 Gabumon effect. Unfortunately going to whiff there, but since my opponent is going to 3 anyway with that hero, I'm just going to play out my Sorajo. It's going to give me a little bit of memory later in the game, while also allowing me to strip some sources, which can be helpful with the memory gain of Sorajo here. So going to go ahead and Digivolve up, suspending the Hina to get the on-play effect when Digivolving. Going to reveal the top 4, and looks like they're going to grab, I believe that was the same card they just played. I could have been mistaken there, but regardless, I was able to keep my Caesarmon on the board there, thankfully, so I will be able to swing, strip 2 sources with the Sorajo, which will allow me to get that draw with Upamon, and then the Gabumon will search me out that Tommy, which again is something that could be nice, just stripping sources, being able to go with Korikakumon, and now going to put that BT6 Gabumon in the back. I don't yet have Bond of Friendship, but I do want to put it in there just in case they swing in and maybe hit it. I think I have 2 BT6 Gabumons in my hand, so I can't expend one, promote it next turn, even if I don't have Matt, and then be able to put another one in the back. But one thing to note is that I played out that Davis. I did grab a Kumamon off of it, but I did have to bottom deck 2 Cocytus Breath, which is really my only form of removal in security. I do have some other annoying cards in security, such as the Hammer Spark, Ice Wall, and things like that, but the Cocytus Breath is really the only form of hard removal. So here comes out the Volcanic Dramon. Gonna be able to tap the Hema, which will delete my Caesarmon, and now I'm thinking about promoting out or not. I do decide that I want to promote out because I want to get the Source Strip with the Sorajo, and I'm also thinking about going for another Caesarmon here, just so that way I can get the draw, and then I can swing, strip, get the draw with the Kiaromon, and because of jamming we will survive, regardless of what that DP was, because I don't think there's too much removal cards in the Dragon Linkz either. They are pretty focused on things like the Digimon, but another Sorajo coming out that is going to help me get even more memory. The Volcanic Dramon being a level 6 means it's much more annoying for this deck to get it so it's not on the board without sources, being able to go into like a level 7 or something like that. So I have a pretty good chance at getting this Sorajo memory, but my opponent will swing over my Caesarmon. We'll be able to trash the top security, which unfortunately is an Ice Wall. Would have loved for them to be able to swing into that later, but now, again, they have another Digimon on the board without sources. We'll be able to Digivolve up, but I still have that Volcanic Dramon without sources, so plus 4 memory thanks to those Sorajos. And right now, I'm not too worried about what's on the board. I do have Innocence Blizzard in my hand, so I know that I want to pass the turn by going with the Innocence Blizzard to stun. I am going to go ahead and Kumamon Digivolve up just because I am cycling, looking for things like Matt still, so that way I could go for Bond or just try to set up for hybrids. I did know that if I had enough memory right there, I could have went for 3 hybrids to go for game, but I didn't have enough hybrids, so we're just going to set up the Matt, so that way when I promote next turn with that Gabumon, I can threaten for Bond while also being able to gain memory, and then the Innocence Blizzard is going to stun the 2 Digimon that were on the board, again leaving me with pretty good sources to be able to gain Sorajo memory, giving me all the memory I need next turn to really go for game with Bond of Friendship or hybrids, unless they are able to go into the Black Mega, the Metallic Dramon, which would make it so I wasn't able to Digivolve over unsuspended Digimon, which also would count for those Tamers, so that would slow me down for now and leave them in a position to potentially go and swing in for game. But the hesitancy on Digivolution kind of shows me that they probably don't have the Metallic Dramon in hand, or would most likely just go straight for it. As we Digivolve into the ultimate here, going to tap the Hina, play another Hina, and then I will go to 6 because I don't have the Memory Tamer anymore, so they're going to put me to 2, and I'm going to gain that 4 from the Sorajo, but I'm just going to go straight for the Bond. Swing, going to get the Upa and the Gabumon, which are mostly irrelevant, just going to start bottom decking what's on board. Swing in, hit the Crimson Blaze, which doesn't matter because I'm just going to be able to swing in and go for game right there. So as I kind of thought, the Bond of Friendship is quite the problem for this deck. all they really have is the Metallic Dramon, which only slows me down for a bit, so they'd have to put themselves in a position to where they can go for Metallic Dramon and then go for game next turn, which is totally possible. But if I am able to get early chips in, the ability to go for Bond of Friendship is just much faster than it is to go into things like Metallic Dramon, and so I have the ability to set up here. Gonna go ahead and swing with that Kuma. I get the draw with the Upa and the Gabumon Search. I did assume that the Kumamon was gonna go down there just because it's only 4k, but it swings into a 1k and survives, and then I'm just going to play out that Davis so I don't get choked, get my Memory Tamer going, and be able to search out that Bond of Friendship, which I don't have one in hand yet, so we'll be able to have that for later, potentially go for game. But here comes out the Lava Garidamon, which is a bit annoying. Going to delete that Kumamon, delete a 5k or less, and be able to play out Hina, so able to develop an ultimate and able to get out that Hina, which is something that I'm slightly worried about because they can go into that Metallic Dramon, like I said, which can be annoying, but also isn't that big of a deal because I did get a decent amount of memory that turn. I did go for the mat. There was really no reason for me to play the Gabumon. I kind of messed up there. I played the Gabumon so that way I could just play the mats for cheaper. The first one gains a memory, but my opponent gained that memory back with the Hina, and so it was actually just a straight misplay of doing that, but it is okay. My opponent's going to swing here, trash the top security, which is EX1 Gabu, and then they swing into Howling Memory Boost, which is great. Good order of operations for my security there, because now I get a memory boost out with 2 mats and a Davis, and we know I have that Bond of Friendship in hand, so I do have the ability to promote up, be able to go for Bond, which can swing 3 times, and then go for 2 hybrids. And I was thinking about it before I promote, but I decided that I do need to just go for game here. Unless I'm able to deal with this Lava Garidamon, then it would be able to swing, trash security, check, and then the Digimon in the back would go for game. So I'm just going to go for Bond, swing, unsuspend, thanks to the BT6 Gabumon, and then I can swing one more time, which is going to hit out the Hina, but that's no big deal because we are going to go for hybrid number 1 with that Kumamon to strip, swing. Should have popped the memory boost in case I were to hit something crazy like X antibody, which they wouldn't have, or some sort of memory gain, but then I can go for the Lobomon and swing in right there. And this was a very quick set, but it is a set between 2 decks that aren't showcased too often, so I thought it would be a fun little set to have here on the channel. But if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because I'll be bringing you even more Digimon content, and I hope you have a fantastic day and happy holidays. Peace out!